let me introduce myself. So my name is Antonin Braun. I'm the technical director for Aquila. So what I'll present to you today is what we do at Aquila Data Enabler, what it means being a consultant at our company, who we work for, how we're organized in terms of research and lab, and some parts about the culture of the company. So first of all, what is Aquila Data Enabler? It's a company that's, so we are over 60 person now with a big core of data science and data scientists, with more than 35 data scientists in our company. And we specialize in, so what we call data science, because the term artificial intelligence is a vast world. So we specialize in data science and mainly machine learning and deep learning algorithm. So we work on a lot of types of data. We work in computer vision with analysis of images and videos, NLP, NLG, so natural language processing and generation, and also on structured data. So basically time series data or data that you can find into a database, a structured database. So what we do at Aquila is we take problems from the different companies and we make specific development for those companies. So we make products for the companies in those domains, and we are specialized into R&D on those subjects. So that's why we hire a lot of PhDs. It's because our main focus is to bring applied research to the world of the companies. We ask our consultants to work on state-of-the-art papers and applying them on real-world problems. So what it means being consultants at Aquila is working on two sides. First of all, working at Aquila, where we work on three things. We work on clients' projects. So basically, it's the client comes with a problem or a subject, and we analyze it. We propose a roadmap and a way to solve that problem, and then we apply it, and we offer we then deliver the code and the program that we integrate into the client system. The second part is we are developing our own PI and our own products around three subjects, as I was saying. So a pattern around time series and AutoML for automatic forecasting on time series. We are developing a platform that helps analyze documents by dissociating the documents with deep learning and then analyzing the text with NLP techniques. And we are working on computer vision algorithms to make it easier to hybrid models between artificial data and structured and actual images, and to train deep learning algorithm faster. So those are our internal projects that we're working on. And the third part is a part about research. So we have two mainstream of research at the moment. It's artificial data generation, so using mostly GANs, generative adversarial networks, on time series or images to augment our data sets. And the second part is explainable AI. So it's how those black box model can be explained and how we can explain the different parts into the decision making and process of an algorithm. So those are that's what we do internally into our lab. And we also work at the client's place on subject. So on longer missions where we provide them with people that have the strength of all our lab and the experience of all our lab to provide to the clients. So it's quite often that someone comes that is physically at the client that comes to our lab and says, oh, I have this kind of problem, without sharing confidential information, and asks the whole lab how he could solve it or what they have seen in the literature that could help him work on that. And we are really proud of that collective strength and collective knowledge that we bring to the table. So basically, for who are we working? We're working for two types of clients. We're working for big companies that have a lot of data and that need to extract value from this data. And what we provide is expertise on those matter of extracting value from the data to those companies with specific knowledge and specific competency on those subjects. We also work for small companies, small tech companies that are able to provide data but don't have maybe the resources to work on analyzing their time series and images. And so we provide our expertise to help them grow into the subjects. In terms of sector of industry, we work with a lot of people. Historically, we've worked a lot with the energy sector and the industrial sector on subjects that go from inspection by computer vision, finding defects on automatic chains of in factories, or outside in structural and non-destructive testing. We've also worked in the energy sector on forecasting the demand in energy from a whole lot of clients, industrial clients, during this time. And for example, we're working at the moment on how adapting our models to the COVID effect. But we've also worked in other sectors, bank and finance, through a lot of projects, marketing, retail, and all those different sectors. Lastly, as I was saying, our strength at Aquila is our collective strength. So what we do is small boot camps where we reunite everyone from the lab and do some research project together, or do some projects around demonstration. And our main goal is to be a team. In a lot of cases, data scientists can be isolated into a company, into small, divided into different groups. What we bring is that collective knowledge, collective strengths, and people that you get emulation from. So that's what we're searching, and why we're organizing all those at the moment virtual gatherings to share ideas and progress on many subjects. Lastly, we try to make everyone do a personal project and some research and publish not especially articles into scientific reviews, but at least a technical article presenting what they're doing and how they do it, and what are the techniques. You'll find every one of them, or not every one of them, but the ones already out on our website, aquiladata.fr. Lastly, we try to be a comprehensive company with a lot of startup kind of spirit. So we unite for a lot of activities. This is a picture from the Mud Day we did together last year and the year before. We do a lot of things together. The idea is really to bring that collective knowledge and force all together. That's it for the presentation, and I'm with Clélia, who is our RH manager, HR manager, sorry, at Aquila. Sorry, I didn't introduce you.
Don't worry.
Are there any questions? Maybe I was maybe a bit quick.
Sure, no, it's fine. So actually, we have some questions already. So, for example, how do you select your clients and projects with respect to the PhD competencies? And what skills or competencies do you value most? Okay, so it's a really good question. We select the project that need to be R&D. Basically, some projects that we face can be treated with classical methods. In that case, we won't be competitive, and it's not our job. Our job is really making difficult problems and to find their solutions. So that's why we have this DNA of being a research company.
And for how we distribute our projects in between our staff and our PhDs, it's mainly based on competency on those subjects, but we won't hesitate to make someone grow onto the subjects, but by putting someone that has less experience into that domain. So it could be image, or it could be a domain of NLP with a specialist to make them grow into the subjects.
Okay.
And for the second question, so into the competency, I would say that there's two competency. You have to be curious and be aware of what happens into the research world around those data, and be able to make a state-of-the-art review on the subject. And we value a lot the competency into let's say development, computer science development. We need people that are autonomous into Python, and being able to make a program that could be industrialized into a company. So we have people that are in charge of doing the industrialization, but we're looking for people that can go beyond the scripting only part of data science. Those are the two main competencies that we're looking for.
Okay, that's very clear. Thank you. Something also linked to data science jobs. So do you allow entry-level experience for data science jobs, or as you said, you require some Python, but is there something more specific to data science? I don't know exactly.
So what we're looking for. So we've recruited a lot of people that come out of their thesis or of their PhD. Not they don't need to have a real experience, professional experience into the background. But what we're looking for is people that have seen the methods at least during their PhD. So they were confronted with problems of data science during that time. We require a bit of practical experience. It can be during their PhD or by their personal projects. We value a lot people that do some exercise on Kaggle, for example, or those websites, because we need people that have practical experience.
Okay.
That's, yeah, that would be my answer.
Something you're very attaching some importance and that you're really looking to. Okay.
Yes, and it's as I was saying, it's not, you don't need to have done exactly the same thing. What you need to do is understand what is a problematic of data science. You need to have worked with bad data, because data science is not a glamorous thing. There's a lot of things between cleaning data and making it fit what the client desires. And one aspect, we're still a consulting firm, so you need to be able to explain your work and being able to understand what the client says, and being able to adapt to that level, because data science is a wonderful thing because it can be understood by anyone, because it's something that's really, the learning part is something quite natural for everybody, but you need to adapt your discourse to the level of knowledge of the people in front of you. And that's a really hard skill to get, but really important.
Okay, thank you. So I have two more questions. So what is the current pace of MLDL research? Have you put something in the company in place to keep up with the recent advances in the field? So I guess it's talking about machine learning and deep learning. Sorry.
Yes, yeah, for sure. So how we keep up? We're not doing some academic research. It's not our goal. What we're trying to advance on those subjects of research is apply things that we've seen into clients and that are gaps into the research to a practical thing. I'll give you an example that is practical. The explainable AI, as I was saying, is a part that is well researched at the moment by many teams around the world. What we've seen is that sometimes what the client wants is not a real explanation, but it's an explanation he can understand. And so including how to include those constraints, those client constraints into the explainable AI is the subject we're working on. And if it leads to something that's publishable, that's good. If it leads only to things that we can do better for our clients, it will be okay for us, but it's still R&D.
Okay, all right, very good. And maybe, so okay, last question, maybe more for Clélia. So it's about more the interview process and so on. So how does it work for you precisely when you want to hire someone? So how does the process works?
Yeah, the recruitment process. We have in the recruitment process there are 3 phases. The first is the human resource phases with me. We do an interview in order to talk about the CV of the person and of Aquila. Then the candidate has to do a technical test on Python and on machine learning. It's good. He will talk about with Antonin about his test and with more technical question. And it's okay. Finally, the candidate will have a final interview with one of the director of Aquila in order to talk about his motivation.
Okay. Did COVID had a major impact in your company? How did you deal with this new?
So we're actually working on mostly a remote base in the company. Everyone is at home. We just go to the office when we need to. We didn't have a big impact. It had an impact on our business, to be honest, because the companies that we work for had to cut losses in a lot of things. But we used that time to develop our own PI and our own systems, and we're not a lot impacted. But by what we do, we do everything digitally. We already had the tools in place where we're communicating via Slack and have a lot of GitHubs and cloud access to a lot of things. So it didn't impact us a lot during our period.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.